Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind ya. The heart of a lion, a team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind ya. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level. Don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is YSN Live for this Thursday, the 15th of January. Hard to believe we are already halfway through the month, or for some of you out there, the year of January 2026. DJ Yokley with you. So excited to be with you. Lots to talk about today, but I want to start off with a big thank you because today was a day that I was really looking forward to from a standpoint of being able to kind of give back to one of the communities that we serve in Lowellville. I was invited to be out there to be part of their career day. It was a great time in the morning. Got to talk to a lot of student athletes, got to talk to a lot of students, potential 7th through 12th graders that are making kind of narrowing their path a little bit towards what they want to do, and was absolutely blessed to be able to talk to some of these kids who are even thinking about sports broadcasting and some of the quote unquote features that sports broadcasting brings to the table. In all seriousness, it was a great time. Thank you to Billy Stanton, the entire administration out there at Lowellville, for having us in. Great to talk to those kids. Great questions, great intellectual curiosity that they brought to the table, as we would expect nothing less from some of these schools, almost lost basketball, that we serve across not only the Valley, but the region and the state of Ohio. And, of course, our friends over the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. And, hey, little tidbit, little nugget for those of you who are keeping score at home, that might be changing even more very soon. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. If that's not a big enough clue for you, I don't know what else to do. So we do have a great show for you. Anthony Hartwig, the 8-time best-selling author, world traveler, as well as the Grammy, Emmy Award-winning, and Nobel Peace Prize nominee. He lost it. We're going to try again, try harder next time. He is not on the show today. He is still a little bit ill. So prayers up for our good friend and dear friend, Ronald Hartwig, for getting better and hopefully back on Monday. Otherwise, we're out on Monday. It'll be a extra day to your weekend, as most of you will celebrate that as a holiday as well. We'll be back on Tuesday, but we go into the weekend strong because today's guest I am super excited for. A dear friend, not only of mine, but of the entire community's. A guy that when I say his name, a lot of you are going to kind of scale back prior to the beginning of the YSN era. This dude had a lot of newspaper clippings in the sports section. This guy, still to this day, has his DNA, his fingerprints all over the youth sports scene. I know that he's trying to scale back a little bit, but he's got it inside the veins. He's got it inside the bones, right? Running right through his blood vessels, up and down. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring on, again, a dear friend of mine and a dear friend of YSN, from Sleepy Hollow, the general manager and baller extraordinaire, Mr. Drew Carchetti. What's up there, Drew?
Wow. Thank you, DJ, for that warm welcome. And congratulations on your trip down to Lowville, man. I know that place really well. It's like the only concession in the world that you could go down and get like wedding soup and cavatelles and stuff. So how about that? The lunches. I went there for a little bit, and the lunches, absolutely.
You're a paisan, so you get it. You understand that you walk in there, and when you say cavatelli, they're not cavatellis, they're cavatelles. Spaghetti, mozzarella. I mean, you're walking in there as one of theirs, right? You got the I on the end of your name. You're ready to go.
Oh, I think I got marinara in my blood. That's my blood type, marinara, right there.
I love it. Drew, I mean, you and I have had the last year has been absolutely phenomenal. You, general manager at Sleepy Hollow, you and your family, which is a family business, have been around for a long time, and you've been doing so much, not just in the area specifically to help out people and make their night's sleep better, but you've been doing so much across youth sports, high school sports in general, because it's important to you, it's important to your family. And obviously, when businesses can give back to potential and future clients and customers, it's something that you guys truly believe in. You've done a great job. So, hey, hats off to you. Well, I take the hat off, but there's a little bit of a shine on top of this lid today. Drew, why is it so important for you to constantly be giving back to the community, specifically when it comes to sports?
Yeah, being a local business, we're really all connected with a pretty big region too. Columbiana, Mahoning County, Trumbull County, and being a dad with kids in youth sports, I know what it's like to have to raise money for a sports organization. People see us in town, they ask, "Hey, how'd you sleep last night?" And of course, which is well. But we want to be able to propel youth sports. So whether it's sponsorships or even coaching, which we'll talk about in a little bit too, but making sure that the sports programs are well funded and stuff, because we believe that sports, athletics, it's an essential part of a healthy lifestyle, as is sleep too. So just trying to drive that brand that we are local, that this isn't some big corporate office and stuff, and then when people come in and see us, they want to see a name that they're well familiar with.
We were talking before we hopped on. I mean, you are not only invested in the communities, but you guys are represented in the communities. Well, as you alluded to, we're going to talk about you grabbing the whistle and being invested in giving back, not only as a business, but as a coach in the community. But first, I want to talk about you as the athlete. Now, people, like I said, dude, you had clippings all over the place. You were a mainstay. You were just a top shelf athlete. When you were in those days, I was just at career day, as I mentioned, in Louisville. A lot of those kids, their vision doesn't go past their nose. When you were an athlete, what did you want to do when you grew up? Did you knew that you were going to grow up into the business and be a general manager the way you are today?
Well, I don't necessarily know about that. I mean, I think that I knew sports would be a ticket to a better future by going to college and stuff. The Carchetti name, my brother played, my cousins played all type of sports. So there is a little expectation to live up to when you have a lot of, big Italian family and people know the name around the sports world and stuff. And I played with some tremendous guys. I played for a really great coach. I was coached under, my coach was Coach Gary Zetz. And the guy was just a football encyclopedia. And I played with guys like Walter Reyes and Ricky McFadden. These are guys that just had tremendous high school careers, and then, even college careers too. So I knew, I wasn't a huge guy by any means, but just wanted to get that shot into college. I wanted to continue playing and stuff. And I went to Hiram. I didn't play too long over there. I actually got more turned on about education. And my future of what then the business world and my studies would be involved with. So, but yeah, I mean, football it's given me so much. There's not a day in my life that I don't think about sports and my friends and the camaraderie, and those team sports are so important.
How did sports, specifically football, how did it get you prepared? The team the aspect for being in a team aspect as a local business, a small business.
Yeah, the communication skills up, absolutely. The energy, the intensity and stuff too. So now when it's time to run a sales meeting or something like that, I kind of feel like, it's in the huddle, right? We're not going around tackling people and stuff, or
Sometimes.
tackling a customer that walks through the door. But it is the communication, it's the intensity, it's the organization too. It's like that in anything, and then now to pass that on with younger kids. My son, I have 3 kids that have all played sports. That's super, super important.
You mentioned your 3 kids. You've been involved, obviously, as an awesome dad, great husband, but also grabbing that whistle, man. And
Yeah.
talk about being invested in it, even though you're trying to, and I don't want to spoil anything, trying to kind of hang the whistle up, so to speak. You already mentioned I'm still going to be around, and if someone needs me, I'm like a good tag team partner. I'm ready there with my hand out, ready to go. For you, why was it so important to be involved as a coach at that level through your kids' development through sports?
You just, one of the things is if you played a lot of sports, especially at the high school and college level, you want to make sure that the kids are being taught the right way. And I kind of knew as soon as I enrolled my son into football and baseball and stuff, it's like, I gotta get in this. I gotta get a part of this, piece of that. I just refuse to be one of those dads on the sideline who's saying what the other coaches are doing wrong. So the philosophy is, hey, if you think you could do it, if you have the time and the energy and stuff, then come on down and organize. And there's some great benefits. There's a lot of headaches too. Dealing with some parents and stuff sometimes, but they want to know what's going on. They have that hunger to understand the development of their young student athlete. So yeah, and I probably will. I think every dad should or mom should get involved with that too. I think it's a great trait. It translates to the workplace. It brings you closer with your family. It's something to talk about around the dinner table and stuff. And you meet a ton of great people. And then it also helps with business too. Hey, didn't I see you on TV? Or, hey, do your parents need a new mattress or something like that? How many hours of sleep are you getting tonight? So that's very important.
I mean, your life revolves around that question is how did you sleep last night? And it's a great tagline. You guys use it in every single commercial, which is awesome. But right. I mean, it's one of those things where you're actually invested in that. When you ask that question, you stick around for the answer. You're not saying, hey, how'd you sleep last night? Like we all do to our better halves every morning. For you, when you guys caught that catchphrase, where did it come from? What inspired it? And was it just like a lightning bolt moment, or was it something that there was a lot of thought and marketing that put into it from the jump?
So my in-laws, the Berry family, Bruce and Patricia Berry, they started the business in 1979. And, when you talk about mattresses a long time ago used to be kind of like the unwanted stepchild of the furniture industry. Everybody wanted to focus on dressers and, the fancy stuff, even the beds and stuff, but the fancy armoires or dining room furniture, which is like, nobody even does dining room furniture that much anymore. We all eat at kitchen tables.
Yeah.
So to take the mattress out of the department stores and then just focus as a sleep shop specific category, they knew at that time that they better be a cut above. They better pay a little bit more attention to sleep. And the product started to evolve with brands like Tempur-Pedic. They started speaking more to sleep and wellness, rather than just a sea of all these firms and pillow tops and stuff. So it really connected the dots with the health and wellness industry. And then I think probably about 20 years ago, something like that, the catchphrase "How did you sleep last night?" really evolved out of the sales process. A customer would come in and you would start to drill them with all these questions, rather than that used car salesman type thing where you just point around and have these gimmicks. It was more of a needs-based analysis approach to selling a mattress, to getting a customer feeling acclimated, and asking them questions about their sleep. And that's kind of where we're at right now. There's tons of sleep studies and data out there in terms of well-being. So that's where we start. As soon as the customers come through the door, our salespeople, they might even greet them with "How'd you sleep last night?" But they're going to greet them with some qualifying questions. They're going to ask them a ton of questions about their sleep, and are you side sleeper, back sleeper, stomach sleeper? Maybe, it is an intimate product to purchase. This goes in your bedroom. There's no other product that you're going to be on or use longer than a mattress. Nothing. And you spend more hours on your mattress than anything. So we want to make sure that we get that right. So how'd you sleep last night? It's a tagline that stuck, and now people ask us it everywhere we go.
I love it, dude. I love it. It's marketing brilliance, number one. But it's also an engaging question because, like I said, when you ask that question, you sincerely want to know so you can help. And I think that's the difference between what you do at Sleepy Hollow and what everybody else does everywhere else. Because, I mean, listen, we had a short stint in the mattress business. It wasn't one that I was real comfortable with because you said intimate. That is the perfect word for it because, I mean, it's the sanctuary of every king and queen, right? No pun intended. That's where it all goes down. And like you said, hopefully you're getting 8 hours of sleep, which is longer than as much time as you're spending at work. So it's very important to get a good night's sleep. And most people don't realize that's a lot of the issues when you go to your doctor, your physician. The doctor's not going to ask how you slept. They're going to say, what did you eat? But what I've learned and what you and I have talked about is it starts where how much sleep are you getting and what kind of sleep are you getting? So some of those data points, let's take a dive into that. Specifically for students, student athletes, teachers, coaches, things of that nature, people that don't get a lot of sleep the night before a big game, how important is it to that particular game or their performance to get a good night's sleep the night before?
It's a cornerstone of the student athlete's well-being. We spend all this time talking about nutrition, hydration, and training, but we often ignore the sleep surface. And really the student athlete or even adults really need to spend about 8 to 10 hours a night sleeping. And there's data that shows that over 70% of high school or college athletes, and definitely no college, they're not sleeping at all. It's about 70% of them don't get the required sleep that's recommended. So it's right in line as like a leg on a stool with nutrition, training, right, and hydration. So
you mentioned kind of obviously how did you sleep last night? We got back sleepers, you got stomach sleepers, side sleepers, things that you also sell the pillows that go with it, kind of pair together with the mattresses, with the beds. For you, like, should you know the way you sleep? How do you analyze the way you sleep without doing a sleep study? I'm one of those guys, I don't want to spill the beans, but if you say, how did you sleep last night? I was like, probably not great. It's one of those things where, I sleep on my side for 10 minutes and then I get uncomfortable. I go to my back. I never wake up in the same position that I went to sleep in, if that makes sense. Is that a bad thing? And how much studying should we do internally before we come and get a new mattress or start the process?
Yeah, you really always want to be going to sleep in one position, waking up in that position, because the more you're tossing and turning, you're developing a lot of pressure points. You're disrupting that REM sleep, which is the deep sleep, and we can get into hitting the full REM deep sleep, which is the most restorative sleep. That's when your body really starts to prepare itself, especially in context with athletes and stuff. That's when your body starts addressing inflammation concerns, the growth hormone kick in. So you shouldn't be tossing and turning. And the first thing that's really most important is that you're comfortable. So if you're sleeping on, like, I remember what it was like in college. If I slept on a futon on a floor, maybe in backseat of my buddy's car or something like that, right? I don't even know where I slept half the time, right? So, but I guarantee you it wasn't on a quality mattress, a quality sleep surface with at least 8 hours of restorative sleep. The next thing really is this supportive enough? And everybody has different shapes and sizes and sleep needs. So is this going to be supportive? And a lot of times people get firm and support confused. Firm really doesn't have it. Firm is a style of comfort. You could have a mattress that's soft, still give you a lot of support underneath. Then the next thing is, the shape of your body. Does this mattress have enough padding to kind of contour and eliminate those pressure points? You're not going to get any pushback or fighting back from the springs. And there's all kinds of different technology that's out there, whether it's an all foam mattress, springs, or hybrid and stuff. So it just takes a little bit of time in the sales process. A trained salesperson that's going to ask them the appropriate questions, see what they're comfortable on, get them situated, and then in a budget that meets what's good on the pocketbook. And we have a host of budget oriented mattresses, and then the service too. We know that not does everybody land at like the perfect bed for them? Not all the time. We hope they do, but in case we need to hit a reset, Sleepy Hollow does offer some comfort exchange policies too. We don't want to stick anybody with a mattress that they're not going to like. We know how important it is. So, but we also don't want to be stupid and running around town switching out, playing musical beds with people too. So it starts with the sales process in front of the store, salespeople that are trained to ask good questions, and then get them acclimated to something that's comfortable and supportive and the right technology.
One of the things that you and I talked about is just informing people of how to get, number one, the bed that they like and they appreciate, getting more sleep, getting better sleep, all that stuff. That's why this is happening. But there is a real interesting kind of, piece to this that parents, a lot of times, hey, they've had this bed in what is it, 10 years is the norm for mattresses. They've had this bed for 5 years, and you go through a growth spurt and they just outgrow their bed, whether it be going from a twin to a full or full to a queen or whatever that might be. There's spatial, constraints sometimes inside houses. But what do you suggest for parents that they know their kid's not getting the sleep that they need? They can't put their finger on it, but they're starting to wonder if it's the right mattress. What kind of things, when you walk into Sleepy Hollow, should you be asking the sales expert? What should you be asking the person that's helping you try to get a better night's sleep?
Yeah, so spin it back a little bit and talk about realizing, is this the proper sleep surface? And what are some of the warning signs and then triggers to bring somebody in to make that purchase? And I do want to say, we spend a crazy amount in the sports world, especially as parents with student athletes. We spend a crazy amount on outgrowing our sports equipment. And I mean, the price we're spending on sports equipment, got to have this bat for this tournament, this bat for that, or now these spikes for indoor and these spikes for outdoor. It's crazy. And it can put a dent in those finances. So people often tend to use things a little bit too long, right? So, could we stretch this product? Could we make it last a little bit longer? But the early warning signs are looking at your son or even yourself or your daughter or student athlete. Are they tossing and turning? You buzz past their room at night. You see them kind of flopping around like a fish. Are they waking up feeling groggy, kind of out of sorts? I mean, notice they have high school kids, they're always groggy. And maybe it is that, they're not doing something right. It might not always be the sleep surface. It might be that they're spending too much time on the phone or screen time and stuff. We got these tablets in our faces all the time. So making sure that they have a good routine before they go to sleep. But essentially it does, you have to consider the sleep surface as part of the equation. So, emotional focus. I think there's a data point too that suggests that sleep deprivation is worse than behind the wheel, worse than driving drunk, actually. So imagine taking a test like that. Thank you very much there. Imagine taking a test or trying to, being a quarterback in the huddle and your thoughts are racing and stuff. So making sure that the mental acuity and awareness is in sync.
When you think about that transition, we talked about college kids a few times now. They don't get a whole lot of sleep to begin with. But I remember distinctly that there was one particular individual on move-in day. Everybody else got those. I mean, I'm being generous if I say that our mattresses were this thick in college in the dorm room. Yeah, I mean, it's You get 3 hots in a cot, especially in a dorm room.
Right.
Excuse me. Parents that are like, I don't know, nervous, or kids that are like, I mean, it's a transition to college. You don't want to be that guy that brings in a mattress. But for me, going back and thinking about it now, I would be less worried about, not making a friend because I bring in my own mattress for comfort. Do you suggest that parents start looking at taking their mattresses or investing in a mattress away from the home, or taking the mattress from home to school, so that way they do get better night's sleep during those college that you're paying a lot of money for?
Oh, absolutely. And I remember what it was like, especially as a freshman, where you can't live off campus, or a sophomore. I think, some schools would have certain requirements too. But then you go in there and they have these twin extra long, very,
Worst.
very institutionalized bunk beds, right? And like you said, it's like a prison cot. Now, I don't think the colleges mind if you bring your own mattress in. And usually those are like a twin extra long, which isn't a huge sleep surface. But coupled with the fact that you're sleeping like Dracula, like a pencil in the bed, and the fact that you got like 6 inches of foam. Yeah, we have, especially around going back to school season, we always have twin extra longs ready and available, and you're getting maybe some springs, about 12 inches of springs and padding. Now they're coming rolled and compressed in a box. It's American made. It's amazing what some of these factories can do. It's like, how can they get this big, thick bed in this box? But the machinery and the tools that they have to do that now, and I guarantee it's a heck of a lot better than that prison cot that most colleges are giving freshmen and sophomore. And you want to have that competitive advantage, right? As a freshman, you don't want to be 2 hours in this sleep and not getting any more than that, and then you got to go start tussling with juniors and seniors, right?
I love that. That's a great point. My son has one of those, I think we called them bed in a box kind of deals,
right,
that you just pull it out and all of a sudden it just out.
Yeah, you're not getting that sucker back in the box, but the price of it, take that thing to college with you, and God knows what's going to probably happen to it by the end of the year.
Yeah, you're probably not getting through 4 years with it, but you're at least getting a year. But if you're investing, tens of thousands of dollars in your education, you should be putting probably a fraction of that in the sleep that you're getting to go to those classes.
100%. Right.
Let's talk. Budget's always the biggest one. Everybody's always looking for a deal, and I think the biggest thing that when you're talking about mattresses and televisions and things of that nature, everybody has in their mind, this is the time that I need to go get a mattress. Whether it's Memorial Day or these big sales events that they have in their head that have always been there through the last 250 years of the United States of America. For you, it's never, I would imagine, I don't want to put words in your mouth, it's never a great time to wait an extra 4 or 5 months just so the thing goes on sale by $10. There's different ways to budget for that, correct?
Absolutely. There's never a day in the world that the mattress isn't on sale. Now there's sales events, we call them the Big Six, and they're usually positioned around Memorial Day, President's Day, Black Friday is huge, right? So there's always days that people are going to advertise and just dump a bunch of money into advertising, whether department stores, sleep shops like us and stuff, to raise that awareness. But any given day, customer that they just came off the worst night of sleep in their life, if they need to get it done now, we're going to make the best offer, the best value that they can afford at that time. And with most of our stores, you got about 60 to 70 mattresses to choose from. There's going to be something that fits that budget for the customer. Now, there are some serious beds that, like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Beautyrest Black. These are beds that are going to outlive the warranty 10, 15 years. I mean, with a Tempur-Pedic, you arrive at something like that. It's not a cheap bed, but you're not going to be replacing it in 10 years. You might have that bed for 20 years. Take it to the grave with you. They're just very durable. They last for a long, long time.
The thing that I was most surprised about is people talk about being hot sleepers, cold sleepers. Sometimes you have the yin and the yang in the bed together, in husband and wife. When you think about the technology, you alluded to it earlier, there's so many pieces of technology out there. You've got cold pillows, warm bed mattresses, like heaters in mattresses now, like all kinds of stuff. What's some of the coolest technology that you've seen come out? What are you most proud of to be able to showcase in your stores?
The cooling technology is awesome. It's something that any customer could come in, they could feel. It's like, wow, this really is like 8 degrees cooler than the mattress over there that's full of all this stuffing and padding and stuff. But I think one of the best pieces of technology that's revolutionized the mattress industry recently is the adjustable base. And customers don't always know how to come in and ask for it. They're like, hey, you got the bed. And the industry has long wanted to make sure we didn't call these hospital style beds. They're adjustable bases where your head can go up, your legs can go up. We could have you in a zero gravity position. Some beds even have some massage therapy, which is kind of just like a low intense pulse in the bed that gives it. And there's benefits for that too. It kind of gets the body woken up and you can decompress before you go to sleep for the night. But having the head up and the feet up, it really takes a lot of pressure off the lower back. If you suffer from allergies or sinuses, having your bed up, even if it's a couple inches, will open up about 15 pounds of pressure off of your airwaves. So people who snore, people lose a tremendous amount of time of deep sleep because they're being woken up by snoring themselves, or they're waking their partner up, right? They're putting socks in their mouths and stuff to kind of keep them quiet. Well, all you have to do is hit the button on the adjustable base, and then boom, it's going to knock that out. And then circulatory issues too, that having the legs up or is going to get the blood flow optimized too. So, yeah.
Socks in the mouth. That's one I haven't got yet, thank gosh. But I think we all know that commercial that the person has the remote in the air and presses it up when the significant other is snoring.
Right.
One of the things that I was always not infatuated, but I was always very interested in was the people that come into the store, the old, I don't want to say the old timers because that's not the right way, but there is an older generation that is accustomed to and obsessed with flippable mattresses. And the one thing that I want to kind of diagnose and kind of dissect is there a benefit to having a flippable mattress still, or has the technology changed so much that you don't need to flip them anymore because they're a little bit stronger, a little bit sturdier, better technology?
Yeah, of course. The technology has really changed. You don't need to flip your mattress anymore. They're still there. I don't know if people want to like hide stains or something like that, so they want to flip their mattress. But I think maybe the old concept was, I'm going to get more use out of this mattress because I could flip it. What they've done now, and really about 15 years ago, is the manufacturers started to focus on having more padding on top of the springs. Because the closer you are to the springs are there for support, but the springs can cause a little bit of pressure points. You wouldn't want to sleep on a pile of springs, right? So the old flippable mattress, think of it like a sandwich without having anything on top. You had a little bit of padding, and then your springs in the middle and a little bit of padding. So all you were really doing is just reflipping the same pile of springs. Mattresses now are much more sanitary than they ever used to be. They provide better airflow. So we talk about temperature regulation, and sleep docs will tell you all the time, turn down to sleep sound. You don't want to be like boiling in bed. You don't want to be sweating bullets and stuff. Having a nice, cool environment when you're sleeping is really key. But again, flippable, there's no proof that flippable is better. Matter of fact, there's more proof and data to support the idea that having more padding on top of the springs is better. Now they've also went away from springs. Some manufacturers have brought out technology that's all foam.
Yeah.
And they brought it back in, and now they do hybrids. So you're getting half spring, half foam. It's really in the eye of the beholder. What's comfortable for you, what gives you the support, and what meets your budget.
One of the things that I learned very quickly, and it's turning in from mattress thing to literally everything, is marketing is everything. And what I learned was there is a lot of mattress manufacturers and companies out there that will put a lot of marketing dollars into making sure that they're just putting out on social media or whatever. I know that you guys advertise with us, but there's a difference between talking to a sleep specialist like you have and like you are, and going to a website and ordering a mattress without trying it out or doing anything like that. For you, obviously it's a competitive industry, but for you, what are the benefits of going into a Sleepy Hollow sleep shop and talking to someone that is prepared, who's knowledgeable, as opposed to just jumping on a website and clicking and pretending you know what you want?
Right. Yeah, it's crazy to think that this product that you're going to spend 8 hours on, you've never got to feel it. You've never got to touch it. You really have limited ways to ask questions about it. And then, these are the online companies and stuff that really don't showcase their product in the store. So you have no way. It's like buying shoes. It would be very difficult to go and buy something that speaks to comfort and support. So it's a crazy business model if you think about it. But they've invested a huge amount of money on just advertising digitally, showing you a picture, and many times you just can't figure out what that product is if you haven't tried it. So coming into the store again, having those diagnostics, having that discussion back and forth, and communicating with the salesperson, so you can go from bed to bed to bed. And then some of the return policies on those products too. They tell you, hey, find a place to donate it to or something, and we'll send you a refund, because they can't offer you anything else. With us, we do have exchange programs and stuff that if you didn't like your bed, if you're not sleeping well, you could at least come in and try like 70 other mattresses out. Let's get it right. Let's make it happen. So there's that. It's a goofy business model if you think about it, but it does seem to people still want to buy online. They're just afraid to talk to customers. They're afraid to be local.
I just realized that I still have my sticker on from.
I saw that earlier, but I thought you were wearing like a badge of honor.
No, yes, but hopefully there's not any pertinent information. My bad, Drew. I'm sorry. I'm putting the attention on me with my ugly license picture that I just had taken. So, along those same lines, getting back on track here, along those same lines, there's the big box stores, which we just talked about, that you can go to their website, order a bed, but there's also a competitive industry here, just regionally, locally,
sure.
That you guys are competing with. And for you as a family-owned business, what are you most proud of about Sleepy Hollow and the way that you guys not only conduct business, but you treat your customers, and proud to have customers come back generation after generation into your stores?
Yeah, I think we're proud of the growth, and we're proud of the volume, and we're proud of the brand name awareness that we have. To see somebody in a store, at church, or at a football game, baseball game, whatever, and they hit us with the tagline, "How'd you sleep last night?" Or I've had buddies that said, my kid runs around the house saying, "How did you sleep last night? How did you sleep last night?" I'm like, wow, that's effective marketing, right? So we're proud that people know us, number one. That means we're doing a good job. We're proud of our service. Do we get it right 100% of the time? No. Communication is key, just anything that you do. So we have to make sure. Being local really allows us to bridge the gap between the operation crew. I'm sitting up at the top right now in my office, and I'm able to look down over our distribution center right now. I can see trucks rolling in, pieces coming off. I can get phone calls right there. You're probably picking up. But I can go into the next room and talk to my wife if there's billing issues or something like that. We're really proud of the relationship that we have with our manufacturers like Tempur-Pedic and Sealy and Simmons. These are brand names that not every local mom and pop store can get, because they want to make sure you're a good brand ambassador and that you can do the volume. So that's really important. And then we're proud, obviously, for our longevity to be in business since 1979. 45 years worth of business going strong. And then we're proud to be in the second generation too. Pretty soon, who knows, my kid might be coming here slinging mattresses around. So we're super proud about that. We like where we are, and there's data to support that. We probably have the largest market share in terms of mattress specific. So we'd like to keep it that way, and that's why we call on you guys, so we can have that relationship and get a word out.
Well, I was just going to, a perfect segue into the next question, kind of a testimony question is what value did you see when, I mean, what's funny is you reached out to me directly and said, hey, we love YSN. How can we be a part of this? What inspired that email and why, what did you see in what we do that made it beneficial for what you do?
Right. So, to first look at the partnership that we forged with YSN, we were really looking for a way to get our word out there to reach kind of that younger demographic, the ones that are super busy, the ones that are involved with youth and organizational high school sports and stuff. I know this demographic well because I am in that demographic. Don't let the gray hair fool you, but it's a younger demo that have kids that play sports. They're not reading a newspaper. They're not watching a ton of broadcast television, right? And we spend a lot of money advertising digitally, and direct mail is not as prevalent as it used to be. But through the years, we've spent a lot of money in advertising, and we noticed that people my age, your age, we're busy lifestyles. So we're not watching TV. We're not reading papers. How can we connect with them and tell our story, make sure that we come to mind, top of mind awareness when they're going to make that mattress purchase? And then there's that sports and wellness tie-in. So we were looking for some kind of out-of-the-box ways to capture that local sports market. And you had great ideas about, the Sleepy Hollow sleeper pick of the week, where we could kind of double dip on that sleep concept, and then further discuss about nutrition, gear, and all that stuff, and how does mattresses fit into that.
No, we love it. And we love the partnership here. Naturally, there's so much that we're going to do moving here into 2026. Hard to believe. Again, I mentioned top of the show, man. January has been a rough year. Just so
yeah. Right.
But no, we're excited, Drew. I can't thank you enough. Obviously, there's so much more. I would love to make this a monthly segment where you can come in and kind of let everybody know kind of what's going on, not
Sure.
just in the world of sleep and mattresses, because I think that's an advertisement, but you're living it. You're a coach. You're a dad, and I think being able to educate not only parents but coaches and student athletes and let them know, hey, there's some new technology coming out. We're seeing a good push from this. And obviously some of the deals, and parents and the like can save some dollars and go to a place that they trust, they know, and they can see you and ask you the big question of how you slept last night.
Stop buying $400 bats. Make sure the kid gets 8 hours of rest, right?
If anybody wants to stop in today, which I'm sure they do after this, we had a nice little crowd watching. Where can they stop into a Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah, come into, we got a store in Salem. We got a store in Boardman right across from Old Navy. That's our flagship store. Austintown, Howland, and Hermitage too. So we're all super proud of the job that our sales guys do. Guys and gals, they do a super job getting you situated, and there's good sales events going on. We'll hook you up. Mention a show, we'll do a little something extra for you today. We're going throughout the weekend and stuff. So just say you saw us on YSN. We'll throw a little something extra at you.
Love hearing that, Drew. Thank you so much for your time today. Yeah, absolutely. Do whatever you want. This is your house. So let me know. Appreciate you. Best of luck, and good luck hanging up that whistle, man. I don't think you got it in you.
No, I'll be on the sidelines. I'm like, I got to get on the field.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop, Mr. Drew Carchetti. Thanks, Drew.
Thank you, DJ. Congrats. Happy New Year.
Thanks, brother. You too. Legend. Absolute legend in every sense of the word. And there's a lot of people that'll sit there and they'll say, well, that was, listen, the partnership with Sleepy Hollow means so much more than the advertisement, the 30 seconds or 15 seconds that you see. We really do believe, and Drew alluded to it at the end, that if you have 8 to 10 hours of sleep for your student athlete, or if, hey, let's not forget about the coaches and the teachers out there. If you have 8 to 10 hours of solid sleep, you are going to perform better. There's a lot of angry people out there right now. They wanted a snow day today. A lot of people didn't get it. And guess what? You're probably going to wake up a little bit happier, if you're getting 8 to 10 hours of good sleep on a good mattress by people who not only support local, support a lot of what you're doing. Don't forget the advertising that they're spending with YSN goes right back into those communities so we can promote you. That's the connection. So ipso facto, Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop is supporting your student athlete, your coaches, and your communities in ways that you didn't even realize. So thank you to Drew, the whole family out there. Been in business since 1979. 1979. Over 45 years in business, and they are still kicking tail and growing up and to the right. That's beautiful. And they've been doing it the right way the entire time. They're not going to sit there. There's a lot of different places. I'm sure that everybody's been across some places that are going to sit there and they're just trying to get the sale. It's not about the sale. It's about the investment and the return investment. That what I can tell you is Drew Carchetti, when I sat down with him, the idea was we want a partnership. We want a relationship. We want to be part of what you're doing and vice versa. We want to be able to help them help other people. And people always are going to, hey, we're going to spend $1,000 on this recruitment service or $3,000 on this recruitment service. And like he said, $400 on a bat. That's great. But if they got a 5-cent swing, it's not going to help them. But if you've got a mattress that your kid or you or whoever can sit there or lay there rather and get a good night's sleep, it will show you. It is going to be a direct effect on how you can maximize your performance. And I believe in it wholeheartedly. I'm telling you, the conversation, I can feel it. The second I walk into my house, my wife is going to say, we're going to Sleepy Hollow. Because we didn't sleep real great last night. Not going to lie to you. It could be that there's a 4-year-old that keeps popping in and making her presence known. But I'm telling you, I'm not just spitting it out because they're an advertiser. I'm spitting out because they support what we do and our mission. And hell, I want to sleep better, dude. I know my wife does, and I know my daughter does. So there might be a truck coming to old EP with Sleepy Hollow dropping off some mattresses because we believe in those that believe in us. And I hope you do too. Give them a shot. I'm sure that the second you walk in there, they're not going to pressure you. They're not going to sit there and haggle you. They're going to ask you how you slept last night. And like I mentioned a couple times now, they're going to wait for your answer and they're going to help you sleep better. That's important. It's important whether you're gearing up for a basketball game tonight or you're just trying to get sleep so you can go to work tomorrow and not be an absolute miserable you-know-what. Try it out. At the end of the day, at least you can cross that off your list. And I bet you you're going to feel better in the long term. So thank you to Drew Carchetti. Again, legend in the sports world from yesteryear and now a business mogul with his family, doing great service for the entire area. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today on this Thursday, the getaway show, as we make it to the weekend. Boy, we've had some great games, basketball, as we flip back towards what we do at YSN from a standpoint of sports. I'll tell you what, we've had some great games over the since 2026 started. These hoops games, we had a double overtime winner 2 nights ago, Canfield versus Howland, double overtime winner. And Howland's been in some dog fights, I guess some tiger fights at the buzzer. And I'll tell you what, it just continues. Tonight we got more for you here on YSN. A lot of talking there. A lot of talking. See, I put my thing. It would have been nice if somebody would have commented and said I look like a complete jabroni with that thing on my chest. That would have been good. And Drew sitting there, God bless him, like probably looking at me like a stooge. He's like, oh, you got a hi, my name is visitor badge on Jack Wagon. Yeah, we want to do business with this guy. The reality of it all from a standpoint of that is I love that there's precautions being taken in schools nowadays. I mean, obviously you can never be too safe when you're talking about kids, as we talk about, them getting sleep and them getting better performance and things like that. It was awesome to see that there are levels to protection of our kids. I don't always see that. We always go in the gym entrance. It's not always there. So kudos. Hey, Louisville, you're doing it right. Way to go. Proud of you. All you other teachers, coaches, administrators, all that, you're doing it right. Protect our kids. They are the future, not only of our country, but our community. And thank you so much for doing that. Once again, thank you to Drew Carchetti for taking out some time for us today. Again, check out Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop. They are a strong supporter of what we do here at YSN. And as always, if you would like to contribute or be a part of our team and, advertise or sponsor or whatever it may look like to you, no matter the size of your business, we have something to help you get the word out about what you do and why you do it. So head on over to ysnlive.com, click on the Contact Us button, and we will be in quick contact with you. And hopefully we can help you the way that we're helping Sleepy Hollow and so many other local businesses and now national businesses across this great country of ours in the 250th year. Celebrating 250 years. America, you're beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. You're a knockdown, drag out 10 here in the world, and we love you, baby. We will be back on Tuesday. I will be back on Tuesday. I don't know what Anthony's plans are for Monday. Rumor has it. Now, we had a little snafu with scheduling. Rumor has it that we will have the Owen Hill on Tuesday at 12:15. Hopefully that dream comes true, and we will sit there and talk to one of Beaver Local's best ever players across, I think, the existence of Beaver Local hoops. And looking forward to that as always. And don't forget, if you would like to be interviewed, you'd like to be on YSN Live, whether it's live at noon to 1-ish, or if you want to have us interview you, record it and then run it back at some point during the year or during the season, all you have to do is reach out to us, contact us the same way the advertisers do, and say, we would like an interview on YSN Live. Tell us why, and we will set that interview up as long as it is a good reason, which, quite frankly, they're all good reasons. We want to hear your story. Everybody's got one. We just want to tell it. That's going to do it for our show today. Thank you again to Drew Carchetti, the folks out at Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop. Make sure you visit them. Don't wait on that deal, or you can, but mention YSN. They're going to do something special for you. I wonder if they'll do that for me. What if I go and mention YSN, if I'm wearing all the YSN stuff, if they'll hook me up? We'll see. We'll see. I'll go text Drew right after this and see what he's got in store. I'll probably hear from my wife before that. Probably already halfway there. So God bless you, all of you, for tuning in today. Thank you so much for making us your one-stop shop for all things local, live, and loyal. We will be better on Tuesday, and certainly we hope that the sports are with you this weekend. Check out ysnlive.com for all your stories, your standings, your scores, all that stuff. And God bless you as you head into the weekend, and stay safe, stay warm, and stay locked in on YSN. YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.